Let me get this straight. Ezra Miller was filmed in Iceland, Reykjavik, strangling a young woman. He's been arrested twice in Hawaii. He's been accused of grooming a girl from 12 years old. He's being accused of giving a 12-year-old girl drugs and alcohol. Then there's this 18-year-old girl he recently run off with. He's avoiding being served with a writ. Why isn't this guy in prison? How can this guy still be the Flash? Well, welcome to Hollywood. Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. You can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. And welcome to the latest edition of the DC Daily. The DCEU is a revolving doll with a revolving pattern. It's a Groundhog Day. That, Ezra Miller is accused of something new, and then WB try to navigate the waters by spreading fake news and trying to distract us from what's going on with Miller. A couple of days ago, there were rumours, huge rumours, that Batgirl finally got a test screening. I found this very curious because this must be a record-breaking situation for a movie from Hollywood to get a test screening when it doesn't even have a release date. Yes, I'll repeat yet again, and I know it's boring. Blue Beetle has a release date, has had a release date even before it started shooting. It's shooting now with a release date in mind for next summer. But the Batgirl movie has finished shooting. In fact, the directors apparently are back at Warner Brothers for post-production without a release date, which is impossible. It doesn't make sense. And now, while the directors are working on post, they've got a test screening. So this is all very convenient. And now all of a sudden, the internet has got all these leaks and rumours about the movie because of this convenient scheduling of a test screening. And I'm sure it's not a coincidence that Ezra Miller has been accused of, let's just say, intimidating a woman in Germany. The woman's name is Nadia. She didn't give her surname because of publicity, and I don't blame her. So I've just listed off all the stuff that Ezra Miller is accused of doing. And some of it is written down. The German police, have been called. The Icelandic police have been called, and in Hawaii he's been arrested twice. So they're not lies. These things have happened. And I forgot to re-mention the fact that he broke into a couple's apartment in Hawaii and stole their stuff and called the woman, the lady, very, very derogative names. And it's, this is Hollywood. I mean, I'm not surprised he's still got this job, and, in all intents and purposes, the Flash movie is still being released in June. So this all comes from an exclusive article from Variety. You should go check it out. They've got the interview with the original Icelandic woman who he throttled on April Fools of 2020, which we all thought was just a gag between celebrity and fan. It wasn't that. And, so they talked to this woman, they talked to a barman in Iceland, Reykjavik. So that's an interesting interview. I have read it as well. Basically, it's even more exposing. But this is Variety, the mouthpiece for Warner Brothers Pictures, and Toby Emmerich, who still at this moment is still the chairman of Warner Brothers Pictures PLC. There's a difference between Warner Brothers Pictures and Warner Brothers Discovery. Warner Brothers Discovery is the entire company. Warner Brothers Pictures is the film studio. But Warner Brothers Discovery, like Warner Media were, they're the big bosses. They're the ones making these decisions. Anyway, after exposing all this information about Ezra Miller yet again, it was a great piece, surprisingly, by Variety. It exposes a lot more about Ezra Miller. It is ridiculous. But they also say that sources are telling them, I don't think they're reputable sources, but apparently Warner Brothers have no intention of cancelling the movie or reshooting the movie with a new actor, because apparently it's far too expensive. Let me explain something to you, which I've explained to you billions of times already. Whatever happens to this film, whether you rewrite and reshoot it with a new actor, whether you release it with Ezra Miller, or you cancel it and shelve it, whatever you do with this movie is going to lose money now. You can't be hearing this as a member of the public, all this information, and be thinking, it's all right, everything will be all right, I'll make $1 billion. You are deluded. If you believe this, if you believe Ezra Miller is innocent, you are deluded. If you believe this movie will make $1 billion and be successful, you are deluded. Because the real bosses, as I've already said, are David Zaslav and Warner Brothers Discovery. They're they're working behind the scenes to fix this. Not necessarily in terms of the movie, but create a new central universe. Bring in someone, a creative head, to run a DC Studios. Things are turning around behind the scenes. Because the same thing that I've been thinking for a very long time is the thing that I'm thinking now. Releasing these 5 upcoming DCEU movies is a fucking waste of time. And I don't think any of them are going to make a lot of money. Now, we can disagree about that. The Flash and Aquaman and Lost Kingdom, I believe deeply, are going to lose lots of money because of Amber Heard, Ezra Miller, and the production problems that those movies have, especially the Flash movie. They're going to lose money. Now, there could be an argument that Shazam could do okay, although it's been released 5 days after Avatar 2, Avatar Ways of the Water. So that's dumb, another dumb decision by Warner Brothers Pictures. Warner Brothers Pictures and Toby Emmerich are very dumb people. That's why this studio hasn't made any real money in years. So it's an almighty mess, and we're still talking about this because I don't want to be talking about this. I'm sure you don't want to be talking about this. We want to be talking about the excitement, the future of DC live action, the future movies, Superman and Lois, and all this fun stuff. Maybe go back and do some retro reviews of Smallville and things like that. I'm sure I will be doing that. But I have to cover this as a DC YouTuber. It would be remiss of me not to do it. And I'm going to cover this every single effing day until this disgusting studio, and I don't mean David Zaslav and Warner Brothers Discovery, they're new. They are genuinely trying to sort this mess out. But Toby Emmerich and Warner Brothers Pictures are an effing disgrace. Accusation after accusation, and they decide. Obviously the test screening probably happened, weeks before, but they decided to release the information about the test screening and the leaks. And I mean, the leaks are not that interesting. So Black Canary apparently isn't in Batgirl, but there's a poster of her. We know that Michael Keaton's Batman is. Apparently, Leslie Grace's Batgirl, Barbara Gordon, is fine and brilliant, and, she's a nice, lovable character. So that's a good thing. That's what we want from her. But it's all very underwhelming, everyone. Look, it's not the MCU. There's no kind of consumer excitement about these movies. And I was damn excited. When I thought all these movies were coming out this year, it was exciting. But they didn't have a plan for next year, so they moved them about. But as soon as these movies were delayed, I told you there was issues with Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, and especially The Flash. And people were going on about VFX and other nonsense. So it's clear that Warner Brothers are not ready to make a decision about the Flash movie. But one thing they know, this movie is not going to make a lot of money. Now, they've probably decided to do with what they did with the marketing of Fantastic Beasts and the Secrets of Dumbledore and not use Miller in the marketing. But he wasn't the main star of that film. It was a film with many, leading characters and actors. So they could get away with it. He's starring in the Flash movie. You can't have Keaton and Calais and everybody else and Affleck doing the marketing for this guy. It is ridiculous. And I mean, the things he's accused of are harrowing. And this is what, woke Hollywood keep on telling us to respect Wham-Man, right? To respect Wham-Man, right? While they've got this actor beating up and offering one woman out for a fight, directly saying, I bet I could beat you up. I bet I could take you in a fight. They're hypocrites. That's what I'm saying. It's pure hypocrisy, everyone. But as I say every single day, this franchise is absolutely dead. Dead before it started. Finished before the creation of man. The DCU is dead. The DCEU is dead. And until we can have a new central universe, and they've got the guts to just say, let's burn this fucker down, it is not working. We will be going through the same Groundhog Day, day after day after day, because this studio is absolutely incompetent. This has been the DC Daily here on Movies TV Mad, exclusively with me, Mick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends and your wives. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss this beautiful perfection. And I'll see you in the next edition of the DC Daily. Until we see each other again, goodbye, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen.